We are students of Politeknik Tawau. But first, let me introduce you to the team members. We will explain about post-event activity. The content of our video is participants' feedback, event management cost analysis, supplier performance, strength and weakness of event for future management SWOT. Post-mortem report and improvement. A successful post-mortem can accomplish. Prepare post-mortem report professional before, during, after the post-mortem meeting. Enjoy our video. Let's start! Do you guys know what the meaning of participant feedback? Participant feedback. Feedback from participants contains of reaction to or opinion about your effort from those who are affected by it. What the important participant feedback? Participant feedback can help you better understand what you need to do and how to do it. It can improve the work you're already doing and make sure you adjust to change in the community or the population that call for change in your approach or your goals. How can we get the feedback from the survey? Firstly is a written, second by phone, third face to face.
Assalamualaikum and hi to Madam Alin and all my fellow friends. So today I will explain about event management cost analysis when we want to do an event, which is grand event or just fun event. So what is cost analysis? Why we need to do cost analysis? What important to do cost analysis? So I will explain about it. What is cost analysis? Cost analysis is essential of measuring the cost-output relationship of a business or event. This will help determine the cost incurred in hiring the inputs and how well this can be managed to increase the output or productivity of the firm. Secondly is what the importance of doing cost analysis. So when we doing cost analysis, we need to know what the importance of doing that so that we can know and doing in the right line. So the first is identifying the fund and amount required to complete a particular project. Secondly, to not spending a large amount of resources on unnecessary project materials, so at that we not to waste the cost. And third, to establish goals. For as example, the cost collected can guarantee the success of the event. Like we know, there are two types of costs that event organizer must always consider when doing cost analysis of event management. Firstly, the fixed cost and secondly, variable cost. So, what is fixed cost? Fixed costs are associated with the amount that must be spent regardless of the number of people that turn up to the event. This included the cost for the venue, advertising and promotion, trophies, along the telephones, postage and stationery. So what about variable costs? Variable costs, on the other hand, would depend upon the number of people who would participate at the event. Their cost should cover what each participant would receive, food and drink and other sporting materials. So, event costs have two categories, which is the first is direct and the second is indirect. The first of direct is travel and accommodation. So, the travel accommodation cost is associated with officials needed to run the event may have to be borne by the event organizer. And the second is trophies and award. So, trophies and award is the cost to buy the medal, trophy and other awards required to have knowledge about the number of competitors. Next is salaries. Salaries, cost of salaries directly attributable to the event, such as event manager and event staff. Next is the cost of telephones can only be directly attributed to the event if the phone is dedicated to a person who works on the event full time. Next is printing. Event programs like poster, flyers, and other promotional documents may need to be printed. And next, promotion, such as expenditure on promotion may be considerable, where a significant proportion of the event revenue is likely to be earned through spectators. Next is equipment hire. Includes equipment directly used by participants in the event and also any equipment used at the event, such as the chair, and others. And lastly is transport, included cost of transporting equipment and hire of the bus. For categories of event cost, indirect, we have four, which is the first is salaries, cost of salaries of organization staff that assist with the event. This indirect cost could be allocated off the basis of how much time organization staff spend on the event. Next is office expenses. Office expenses include cost of phone, photocopiers, computer, printers, postage, stationery, and office rent that cannot be directly cost to the event. Next is facility maintenance. Some proportion of the cost of facility maintenance should be allocated to the event. And lastly, electricity. In the most cases, the amount of electricity used by an event can only be estimated and therefore an indirect cost. So lastly, this is the example of template event management cost analysis. They have many of template event costs, so this is one of the example. So that's all for me. Thank you.
So Assalamualaikum and hi to Madam Alin, which is our lecturer for event operation and management. For my part, I'm going to explain about clarify supplier performance. So what is supplier performance management? Supplier performance management, which shortened as SPM, is a business practice that is used to measure, analyze, manage the performance of a supplier. Supplier management professionals seek to cut costs, alleviate risk, and drive continuous improvement. So there are three supplier performance management best practice. So for the first is all organizations must develop a core competency to quantify and manage their risks effectively in order to be successful over the time. And the second, when dealing with suppliers, there are substantial risks and potential for disaster in the form of bankruptcy, environmental problems, delivery failure, lacks of materials, poor performance, or product defects. And the third one is most of organizations recognize that this risk exists but do not take sufficient steps to manage them effectively. Suppliers evaluation. Suppliers evaluation had divided by two categories, which is by purchasing category and based on logistics information system. For by purchasing category, scores is on client level. Available criteria is quantity, time, quality, price, and questionnaire. Scores available is real-time. Scores not available for buyer's negotiation sheet. And based on logistic information system, scores is on purchasing organization level. Available criteria is quantity, time, quality, price, sustainability, service, and invoice. Score available after evaluation run. Scores available for buyer's negotiation sheet. And that is all from me, and thank you.
Hi, I will explain about SWOT that they have four, which is strengths, weakness, opportunities, and also threat of event for future management. SWOT is very important to manage our event successful, visionary, and realistic. We must know how to identify their strengths, weakness, seek out opportunities, and threat to handle the small or big event. This goes for creators of event, annual festivals, and small networking event alike. Any event can benefit from a powerful tool known as the SWOT. First is list the strengths of your event. It's not enough to have a cool idea in the real business world. You need proof to back up your hypothesis and hunches. Here are some ways you could describe the strengths of your event. First is an idea that has never been done before. For example, giving a twist to an event to be great. Second is an experienced and motivated team with a track record of success, who are employees who have a lot of experience in managing events. Third is the following social media will serve as a powerful marketing platform, such as advertising the event you want to do on social media, such as Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and so on. And the last is a financial plan that shows healthy production potential, such as the various budget required before making the event. Next is be honest about your event weakness. It's equally important to be honest about your weakness. This might include things like lack of funding and expenses for things like outreach and venue rental. Second is lack of technology you'll need to run an efficient event. Part of the motivation of listing your weakness is simply to acknowledge them with full transparency. Stakeholder and investor need to know what they are setting themselves up to contend with. But there are also opportunities to talk about how you'll address this weakness. For instance, you don't have much capital, but you have a plan for approaching investor. Or your team is green, but you're enrolling them in free online event opportunities. The opportunities part of a SWOT analysis looks at the factor in the community or market that could positively impact your event. For instance, the first is underserved market, second is little competitions, third is the emerging need for the particular service and media coverage, and the last is favorable economic conditions. This section of your SWOT show that you have done your research to align your event plans with the reality of the world around you. Last but not least is about treat. The things that are out of your control, they might happen, they might not. The point is you have a plan for them. Treat are exactly opposite to the opportunities. Any kind of external factor that refrains your business from achieving the target or market in a success, like you won't find enough sponsor to cover the cost. For example, your budget has some optional line items you can drop if the expenses isn't covered, but you also have an aggressive plan to approve impressive sponsor. Treat are the external factor that may pull you back from achieving your event goals. Be aware of this treat and make sure your event is not affected due to this. For example, if you're organizing an event in an open arena, bad weather condition can be a treat to your event. With SWOT, this helps the organization to analyze whether their specific objective can be achieved or not. Second is help decision makers to have a vision and process results that are practical and efficient. And the last is assist in developing strategies that are better suited to the current status of organizations and business in the industry. Next is postmortem report and improvement. I will teach you how to write the postmortem report. Firstly, that the event was organized. You need to include all context to someone unfamiliar to your event for understanding your report of event. Secondly is why the event are launched. Give reason and benefit why people need to participate on your event. Thirdly is result of your event. Explain the last result about your event such as a feedback or comment. Last but not least, you need to gain some feedback about your event from all your team members. Lastly, why you need to end up with the result you did. Make last decision about your event are successful or not. Next is improvement of postmortem. You need to make a postmortem whether your event small or big event. Secondly is schedule the postmortem directly while the details of event are still fresh and new. Lastly is set a constructive mindset. You need to make a team improvement of your postmortem. A successful postmortem can accomplish. An effective postmortem can help you improve efficiency. Reviewing your work post-project will help you identify areas for improvement and find a better way to approach tasks next time. Post-team communication. By talking and listening to each other, you help bring your team closer together and improve everyone's awareness of everyone else. Learn from mistakes. Reviewing your project will help you work out what went wrong and make sure it doesn't happen again. Get closer. Holding a meeting is a collaborative way to officially add a project and give everyone a final chance to have a final say. Share information. Sharing the meeting outcome with the rest of your team and the wider business will help everyone else understand what your project went well. Improve morale. Celebrating your successes will fire up your team for the next project. Similarly, talking out project problems together will give everyone the opportunities to discuss corner and iron out any resentment.
Hello and greetings to all, especially Madam Alinda, for our lecture on the subject of event operation and management. I'm students from Politeknik Tawau Sabah. I'm going to explain prepare postmortem report professionally. So what is postmortem? As my friends have mentioned before, it is a process that helps improve projects by identifying what worked and what didn't work after an event or any project that had been run. It is also a process to discuss and to document any project effectiveness, to improve any operations and also mitigate or reduce any future risks when we wanted to run a program or any projects. By conducting this postmortem, we will produce a document, and this document is to recap all the project events and findings, and these are known as a postmortem report. There are several steps for writing an extensive postmortem report, which is before, during, and also after the postmortem meeting.
Hi everyone, now I will explain about before, during and after the postmortem meeting. For the first one is before the postmortem meeting. Schedule immediately after project concludes. The first step to writing a successful postmortem report is to automatically schedule postmortem meeting after all major projects. Next, make sure to schedule the meeting for no more than a week after a project concludes. The sooner the better, as the information will be fresh in everyone's minds. Next is have each team member fill out a pre-meeting agenda. By the time of the meeting, all team members should have already reviewed everyone else's notes. This frees up the meeting for making decisions and save time. The last is create an agenda. You should have an agenda you stick to for your postmortem. This will be help ensure your discussion don't get sidetracked. Second is during the postmortem meeting. Have someone act as moderator. You should have someone else act as a note taker, and having details note make writing the postmortem report much easier. Second is answer key postmortem questions like what went wrong that we should avoid next time, and what went right during the project that we should repeat next time. For the third is hear from everyone's voice. If you never hear from certain team member on key taking points, you increase your chance for repeating the same mistake, and encourage an open conversation where no one is ridiculed and interrupting is discouraged. For the third one is after the postmortem meeting. Write the postmortem report using meeting notes, such as that the project was live, why the project was launched, feedback from all team members, what the next action step, and what you're going to do different next time.